Hey guys, so I want to remind you how to find standard error in different statistics using Excel. So this is what we did in class yesterday, but here's just another look at it so that you can remember if you've never done it before. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to need to pull up the data that you're trying to find statistics on. This is the data nugget that you are going to be working on in class today. So I'm going to do the average for the first column right here. And you're going to need to find the average for each event. So the male that has full rations of food and how many mouthing events. And then down here is the male that has half rations of food and then how many mouthing events. So down here, it gives you a table and it's already calculated standard error for you. I'm going to ask that you check that you can calculate standard error and find the same value. And then also going to show you how to use Excel to find the mean. So I know you know how to find the mean just with your calculator. But if you use Excel to find the mean, we can also use the same data to find the standard error on Excel. And if you want to split it up with a partner where you do all of the full ration events and then the partner does all of the half ration events, that works too. Okay, so I'm just going to pick the full ration male mouthing events. I'm just going to type in my data. Okay, so you have all your data from the first column, just like yesterday, you're going to hit the equal sign. We're going to type in what we're trying to find, which is the mean, but on Word, it's just average. So I'm going to type in AV, and then I'm going to double click on average, which is going to give me the open parentheses. I'm going to select, remember you want to see it kind of doing the little square dance up there. And then you have all of your values selected, and then you're going to end parentheses and hit enter. So this is my mean. I'm just going to write it right there. Now I want to find the standard deviation of my data. Remember, we don't want to include the mean when we're finding the standard deviation. We want to just use all of the numbers that we collected in the sample. So we're going to do equals ST. I'm going to click on the standard deviation of the sample. I'm going to double click. I'm going to select my data. I'm going to end my parentheses, and I'm going to hit enter. And this is my standard deviation. Lastly, we need to use the standard deviation to find our standard error. So we're going to do equals standard deviation divided by the square root. Remember, you type in SQ and then double click of the number of how many samples we have, which you can see it's going 1 to 10. So we have 10 samples, and oops, some random button. 10. So sorry, back to where we have square root, open parentheses, 10, close parentheses, enter. 4.8 is the standard error for this data set. And if I scroll down, it matches the chart down here, which says one full standard error is 4.8. And then if we wanted to find the 95% confidence interval, we'd need two standard errors. So we would take this value, or this box, always start with an equal sign when you're putting a formula, equals this box star, which is multiplied by 2, enter. And so two standard errors for this data would be 9.6, or you could also use this box to calculate. When they're asking you to do your graph down here, you do not have to do two standard error because it doesn't ask for two standard error, and they will always ask you when they want you to use two standard errors or stay within 95% confidence, which typically on an FRQ they are going to ask you to do. But in this graph, I don't think there's enough room to use two standard errors. So then you would plot your mean as the height of your bar right here. Your data would go up to a little over 30, and then you would need to go up 4.8 and down 4.8. So up almost 5 and down almost 5. And that would be your first bar. And you would compare that to the male with half rations. So then you would plug in this information and create your second bar. And then you would need to differentiate the colors so that you know which one represents full rations and which one represents half rations. And then you could go over here and do the same thing for female under the mouthing events. We would plot the female with full rations and the female with half rations. So hopefully that helps, and it's a good reminder of how to do Excel and finding the average, the standard deviation, one standard error, and two standard error. All right, bye-bye.